I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. People gathered outside Deer Park Town Hall this morning for the community's annual 9/11 commemoration. Among them, Tilly Geidel and her daughter Tilly from the town of Greenville. Tilly lost her husband Gary Geidel, a member of Rescue 1 in Manhattan, 13 years ago today.
This day can't get any easier, can it?
Never. It never gets easier. 13 years later, and it just never gets easier. You don't get over something like this.
What do you hope people, are thinking about today, and that didn't go through what you went through?
I would hope that they would remember how this country was attacked, and never let our guard down, because we're fighting a war on terror. It's a war between good and evil, and they're not going to stop. So we need to not let our guard down and go after the enemy and take them out before they take out more innocent people.
Speakers at the Town of Deer Park Memorial Service talked about why we shouldn't forget what happened to us in 2001. And some, including State Senator John Bonasek, voiced the same concerns as Tilly. Now, we should be worried about the very real possibility of another terrorist attack here in the U.S.
The passive foreign policy that we've experienced and watched over the last few years has resulted in greater danger to the security of America. We see China trying to expand its influence in the Pacific. We see Russia in Ukraine. We see ISIS and Al-Qaeda in the Middle East expanding. There's no question in my mind that the American people, who are the greatest people in the world, with their courage and their strength, have to step up and start pushing back against the threats to America.
No, we've never let our guard down, and one of the things that we fight against is complacency, and not only complacency with our population, but complacency sometimes within our government.
As in the past, the Deer Park observance included the placement of bows on a tree planted outside the Town Hall building in Huguenot that stands in memory of those who died on September 11th. On Saturday, a different kind of 9/11 tribute will be held in the town of Ulster. That morning, friends and members of Ulster Hose Company No. 5 will hold a memorial service for not only the 343 firefighters who died on 9/11, but for another group of September 11 victims, the 84 firefighters and EMT personnel who've died since then of illnesses contracted as the result of responding to the World Trade Center. The names of those later victims are on 2 granite plaques that will be dedicated Saturday. Most of them died of respiratory disease. The granite plaques honoring their sacrifice are now a part of a remembrance pavilion that also features the names of firefighter victims on paving stones and pieces of steel and cement from Ground Zero. A nurse formerly employed at the Northeast Center for Special Care in the town of Ulster has been arrested for allegedly stealing 3 oxycodone pills from a resident's prescription for her personal use. According to the State Attorney General's office, 34-year-old Amy DeAngelis Martin of Saugerties stole the oxycodone and replaced the pills with a non-narcotic allergy medication. The 52-year-old nursing home resident was paralyzed from the waist down due to head and neck trauma and had been prescribed oxycodone for pain. DeAngelis Martin faces felony charges including endangering the welfare of an incompetent or physically disabled person and falsifying business records. If convicted, she faces up to 4 years in prison. In Monticello, a village resident has been charged with felony assault after police say she punched a Child Protective Services worker who'd come to her home to remove a child. According to police, 26-year-old Tina Esquilin assaulted the female CPS worker while in the presence of Monticello police officers. Esquilin was arraigned and sent to Sullivan County Jail on $1,000 bail pending further court action. 2 women from the hamlet of Wallkill have died in unrelated car crashes in the past couple of days. 86-year-old Thelma Alderman died Wednesday morning when the car she was driving was rear-ended and sent into the path of another vehicle on Route 32 in the town of Plattekill. State police say Alderman was making a turn onto a private road when she was struck from behind. And Tuesday afternoon, 60-year-old Deborah Swaim died of injuries suffered when her car veered off Route 302 and slammed into a tree in the town of Crawford. Witnesses told police Swaim's car was heading southbound on 302 when she crossed the northbound lane, left the roadway, and struck the tree. And part of the former Mid-Orange Correctional Facility land and buildings will have a new use. Officials with the Warwick Local Development Corporation have announced that 36 acres of the property, including many of the existing prison buildings, have been sold to Tony Abatine, the founder of the Frozen Ropes Training Center Company. The purchase price, $1,775,000. Abatine owns a Frozen Ropes sports complex in Chester. He plans to develop the former prison property into an indoor and outdoor sports training facility, plus overnight summer camp. More than 100 acres and other correctional facility buildings remain for sale and are being marketed as part of the Warwick Valley Office and Technology Corporate Park. Friday will be a better weather day here in the Hudson Valley. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, and it'll be less humid with temperatures expected to top out in the middle 70s. Saturday, clouds return along with a few showers. The high Saturday will be up around 70 degrees. Well, stay informed by starting your day with the Times-Herald Record, and breaking news as always just a click away right here at Record Online. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.